You ever bought Lightroom presets from your favorite photographer to only notice that when you wanted to apply the presets that the presets just didn't work? I mean, the photos you wanted to edit, they just don't look like the photos from your favorite photographer. What's wrong with them? In this video I'm going to tell you exactly why this is the case and how we can quickly fix this in a little tutorial. The first reason is the day or the time that you shot your photos in. You can't expect your photos to look the same like your favorite photographer if you shot during bright daylight and your favorite photographer shot during blue hour. That's just not possible, because in bright daylight you have this really light hue of blues. You have this really teal looking like sky, and when it's blue hour everything just is dark blue. You can't really force colors the way you want them if the colors weren't present at all. I mean, you could do it, but it would just make everything feel forced and kind of ugly. And that's also one of my basic principles of photo editing right now, to make the photo look realistic. The second reason is a very simple one, and that's color profiles. Whenever you're editing a photo, make sure to check out the different color profiles, because these can have pretty huge differences when you're editing a photo. For example, let's check a preset on here. Let's go with the golden era right here. This is a pretty cool preset. And then we're going to adjust the crop to 4:5, and then we're going to play around with the color profiles. So what I like to do is I just like to look at them and see what just looks the coolest. Here we go, standard, vivid, or vintage. And I think in this one, the vivid one looks really cool because it really makes the image pop. So if you duplicate this photo and we just do Adobe Color again and we compare the two, then you can see quite a noticeable difference already. But wait, there is more. The last and most important thing that makes your photos look different than the presets that you actually bought are local adjustments. Everyone has presets to make their workflow easier. It's just a super great starting point to see what kind of edit you want to do on your photos. But when you put your preset on there, the real magic really begins, and then you start doing local adjustments. So that's what we're going to do for this photo right now. You can see that there is this really weird part over here. It's some noise or something. We're going to remove this. What I always like to do is add a radial filter on here, and then I press invert. And what we're going to do with this is like emphasize the subject. In this instance, the Ferris wheel, for example. So close the overlay, and if you take a look at this, you can see that I really made the outer edges of the photo way darker, and this puts emphasis on the Ferris wheel, as you can see. Next thing we're going to do is add some brushes. What I really like to do with night images is that I like to brush in all these lights. What I then like to do is I like to increase the clarity, and I also like to decrease the dehaze. And as you can see, it really gives this really cool glow effect, especially with neon lines or just with lights in the dark during blue hour or at night. It's just a really cool, super handy tip. And if we check the before and after, it's really cool, or at least in my opinion. We could also like take this mask, for example. We could duplicate and invert this mask. And then we really focus on the Ferris wheel. And then we're going to adjust this again. Maybe it's a little bit smaller. There we go. And then we could increase the exposure a bit, but not too much because the photo is already pretty light. Now we're going to do one last adjustment, and that's the linear gradient. I can make it a bit warmer and then add some greens to it. And I could make it a bit lighter. And then you can see that it just gives this pretty cool and different effect. I'm not saying that I would edit this way because this looks pretty strange, to be honest, but it's just to showcase you what kind of differences local adjustments make. So let's do a quick before and after of everything that we've done so far. Before, after, before, after. So as you can see, the differences are pretty big. I hope this video was helpful to you and that you learned something new. And that being said, last week I released my own new cinematic vintage preset pack, and if you want to get them, you can check them out in the link in the description below. and they're on sale until December 11th with 20% off. And if you'd like to see these presets in action, you can check out my last POV street photography video right here. Peace!